Welcome in, welcome friends to the newest edition of Seahawkers What If, the most unique Seahawks preview show in the multiverse. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner. I'm joined by my co-host, Adam Emmert. And of course, this would not be, it could not be, we could not traverse the Seahawks multiverse without the protector of that multiverse, Mr. Phil Leidick. Boys, it is rivalry week. We have Thursday Night Football coming right up. 11-3 versus 11-3, probably the biggest game in a freaking decade. Adam, how are you doing, bud?
Massive game. I'm going to guess it's going to be the most watched. It's going to be the biggest regular season game of the entire NFL, I think. 11-3, the two best teams in the NFL potentially going head-to-head here, Phil, and we get to see it on Thursday night. I'm thankful it's Thursday night. Then I don't have to be nervous for an entire week. It goes by a lot faster.
I'm excited. I'm taking both of my sons and three of their friends down to the game. We're amped up about it. It is the DVOA Bowl, kind of. We have two historic teams by DVOA. They're pretty good at everything as far as over the course of the season when you put it together. I did go back, if you want to throw it on the screen, Clinton, I did go back and watch this Rams game where they just played the Lions. We kind of watched it a little bit in between our game, but our game was pretty close, so obviously needed to go back and see what was going on. But if you look at them by DVOA, they are first in offense, fourth in defense. Their passing DVOA is third. Their rushing DVOA is third. You can tell they're good at both, quite balanced. Their defense is good against both as well. They're third against the pass, and they are third against the run. In this particular game, they weren't getting pressure early. I was like, oh, this is nice. But then I also remembered the Lions have a really good O-line. And then I saw over the course of the game, they were starting to get some pressure. It improved. I think it was when they shut down the Lions' really good run game, and that was solved. Then they were able to get after the quarterback a little bit more. They had lots of too high looks. So that's interesting that the great Lions run game couldn't run against too high. That's a little concerning. St. Brown and Williams were getting open. So if there was time, then for Goff, they were able to, those guys were definitely getting open. Williams dropped one that could have been a game changer. I was pretty bummed about that. But they did hold the Lions down to 70 yards rushing. That was also concerning. On offense, their run blocking was absolutely impressive to me. They had 160 yards on the ground. It wasn't just a couple big pops. It was just over and over. They were together. They were blocking clean. I hate to say all these nice things about the Rams, makes me feel nasty, but it sure looked good. The play action had a really smooth rhythm to it when they went there. It wasn't always open, but it looked like Stafford knew what he wanted to do. He'd decide if it wasn't there, he'd toss it away. Nakua had one huge drop, but that was it. Other than that, he was dominating. Back-to-back fourth down conversions to Nakua. Stafford is great. He was putting the ball in danger a few times. I think he was playing more aggressively against this Lions team than he was back when he played us a month ago. What else did you see on this, Adam, when you went back and watched?
You know, it's hilarious, Phil, because we talked a little bit about this last night on Brandon and I's live show for the flagship. And
oh, cool.
If you were to have taken all of my little observations that I went through, it was bing, 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 your list right here. This is exactly what I saw as well. And I'm sure we'll get into it more, but the run game on both sides really seemed to be a big deal in this game. And it's really what changed things. And I don't know, Clinton, if you had a chance to watch Rams-Lions a little bit, or if you have any other thoughts on that.
Yeah, I did watch it. It was a fun game for sure, and disappointing at the end of it, and the Rams just sprinted ahead, of course, as we know. The biggest thing you guys are hitting at it is like, look, it's like if they could stop Gibbs and Montgomery on a fast track, what do we have a shot to run the ball at all effectively with not just our guys? I think our running backs are talented enough, but the way we have been run blocking has not been up to snuff. So that is a big concern coming in. I know we'll probably get asked about that, so I won't talk too much more about it. But watching that, I'd be like, oh man, they contain Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think is at least a top 3 back, if not A1 in this league. That is no small feat. Hey, they're 11-3 for a reason. And hey, Vegas has them as as favorites on Thursday Night Football on our turf for a reason. Now it's supposed to be very close, but hey man, this is a very, very good team and a huge test. So fired up for it. And Mr. Phil, that means you probably cooked up, I'm sure you did, a very special theme for the week with 6 dramatic questions. Let's unveil them to the audience. And folks, remember, we are hearing this for the first time, just as you are hearing this for the first time. I love it. It's a blessing every single week. Mr. Phil, take it away.
Fired up. We're fired up. What if we win the 1 seed? What if we win number 1? This game has so many things. Not only the top DVOA teams, these are the top record teams. These are the top teams at playing football right now, top division in all of football. And the winner of this division has a great shot to get the 1 seed in all the NFC. And every time the Seahawks have had the 1 seed, we've gone to the Super Bowl. We have never gone to the Super Bowl without getting the 1 seed. So it kind of feels like this is a huge, huge game. Adam will get to go first. Everything has to do with the number 1. Our chance at being number 1 has so much to do with this game. Our odds are almost gone if we lose. We get in the great chance area if we do win. Here are our categories you get to choose from, Adam. 1 love, 1 shot, 1 mind, 1 matchup, 1 goal, and 1 choice. There is a little what would you prefer game behind one of these. Adam, where are you going to go?
Well, to quote the great Eminem, you only get 1 shot, 1 opportunity. Let's go there.
1 shot. 1 shot, Adam. What if the positioning of that says Julian Love? That's the wrong question. This is 1 love. I sure hope 1 shot is on there.
Then I messed up. I meant to say 1 love.
1 love. I sure hope
Yeah.
so. I hope I didn't mess this up. Okay. Well, we can always edit this out. 1 love.
No,
What
we
if
leave
the
it in 'cause it's
positioning
beautiful.
of Julian Love and our safeties makes the difference? How would you love to see them deployed against Sean's Lambs, Adam?
Exactly as they did last game, which was they didn't get out of their nickel defense, and they had 3 safeties on the field with Eamon Warry quite a bit. And I want to see Love and Kobe play 2 high shell stuff that Mike likes to live in. And the reason I want to see that is it worked damn well last week. And I think that it can work again this week, because really, if they're going to be able to move the ball offensively through the pass game, a lot of their stuff is the intermediate to deep stuff. They'll hit you with a few of the naked boots and tight end underneath and that sort of thing. But Stafford, as you pointed out in the game against the Lions and really all year, he likes to push the ball downfield and take a few chances. So, safety and Kobe, or Love and Kobe, I want to see them playing at their normal depth at 2 high looks.
Clinton, how about you?
I think I got to go with a similar answer. I'll give a little bit more, or not more, just a different reasoning too. Number 1, like, we're one of the few teams in the NFL who could quote unquote get away with it, where we could sit in 2 high. And because we have Eamon Warry down the box and we have a corner like Spoon, along with our defensive front and good linebackers, we can stop the run and sit in 2 high. It's kind of the magic middle ground, and there's very, very few teams that can actually do it. But we are one of them, and it, certainly betwixt Matthew Stafford last time, and there's no reason we can't do that again. Now, the Rams are running the ball really, really well, but we're better than Detroit. We just are on defensively, and by a long shot. And they were missing Brian Branch, a player that could be really flexible for them, and he was not in last game. It's a huge, huge piece to be missing. So we have our full complement. So I want them there. One of the interesting pieces to watch out for will be with no Devontae Adams, and listening to some Rams podcasts. We all saw him go down with the hamstring. It's like you need the Mr. Miyagi miracle to make it for this game, and that was Hollywood. And although it's the Rams, this game's taking place in Seattle, so I don't think we'll get any Hollywood ending there, meaning no Devontae. Tutu Atwell's back, so he'll try and stretch the field a bit. Fine, we're sitting in 2 high. Good luck. And they're going to probably go to their 13 personnel more because Adams is out. So, but again, guys, with our flexibility and the way we rally to the ball, I don't think there's a formation out there that I'm like, okay, that's going to be a big, big issue for us. What becomes soft over the middle is some of the dump off stuff that we saw like Amir Abdullah take advantage of and Jonathan Taylor take advantage of with Phillip Rivers. But you got to be soft somewhere. You can't protect everything. So take away what they like to do and are good at. Adam, you were just hinting at it. I think that we play our game and dictate to them, and then just heat up Stafford enough times where he throws up. Phil, you said it previously, he'll give you 1 to 3 shots a game. We got to capitalize on those.
Are you guys at all worried about if we run shell and them running at us a bunch, or do you think we can solve it even with too high?
I'm not concerned at all. I've already seen it, Phil. Like, that's the thing, is that you look at the game against the Lions, and the Lions have struggled all year in
we're better.
Their defense, and especially their run defense. So I see them play a nice game running the football, the Rams against the Lions, but didn't happen against the Seahawks the first time. Seahawks are better than the Lions by a pretty large delta, I'd say, defensively this year.
Yeah.
And they stopped Taylor last week, and then they stopped Bijan the week before. Tell me which running back on the Rams is better than Bijan Robinson or Jonathan Taylor. I'll wait, because they don't exist.
Ronnie Rivers for the win.
There's a blast from the past.
It doesn't seem to matter if it's Kyron. I mean, whoever they run, it's all about their run blocking. It's all about destroying their run blocking.
It's a good O line. They're good. This is yet another test, and they are a good O line. But so are the Falcons, and so are the Colts. Those are good run offensive lines. But we knew this. We looked at the schedule, weeks ago, even preseason, be like, this stretch, we're going to hit teams that could run the ball pretty effectively. And so far, we've checked the box every single test. So, Adam, you were talking about last night on the live flagship, like, that you're kind of a, hey, show me guy. You got to prove it. And Seahawks have shown their mettle in the run game every step of the way. So they have my trust. Now, can the Rams be a bit more effective than last time? They could be. Right. That could be an outcome for sure. But man, if we got to lay our chips somewhere, stay in that too high and let your other dudes, dominate as they have been all year long. Probably gives you the best mapping against what's a really talented Rams team.
Got it. All right, Clinton, you are next. Where would you like to go?
Well, it's not often in life, boys, that you get a second shot. Right.
So one shot.
Yeah, one shot. It's wow. It's oxymoronic, and I love it. I'm here for it. So let's try one shot again. What do we think?
This time we got one shot. This time Phil actually clicked on the right hawk, so that's helpful. Clinton, what if Clint can dial up some shot plays? How do you hope that he deploys them? And this could be timing. This could be formation. The how is up to you, Clinton. How do you want Clint to dial when and why these shots?
Yeah. Okay. So the last 3 games we've scored on offense exactly 18 points, and we've distributed them very evenly, boys, very politely. 6 against Minnesota, 6 against the Falcons, and 6 against the Colts. We had the pick 6 against Brosmer, but offensively, field goals, right? So one thing that we've been seemingly kind of getting a little derailed, Kubiak at least, is that getting out of play action early because maybe a TFL, or maybe we can't run the ball because we can't run the ball. We're not very effective running the ball. So we get to like 2nd and 12, and early plans seem to get derailed. And it's like little wide receiver bubbles to try and make up for it. So we can get into the mythical land of 3rd and manageable, which is tough when you can't pass protect well on 3rd down. All that to say, guys, man, like, I'd like to see us take some shots earlier under play action, and let's maybe get Shaheed back in early, like 2 weeks in a row where he's been not just pivotal, but he's been clutch in the big moments, and his stats are showing it as well, volume wise as well. Well, if they're kind of over rotating to JSN early, well, we got Shaheed, man. So why not see something play action where maybe Shaheed is isolated? Not saying trips with Shaheed, but maybe some condensed thing where they bunch up and Shaheed ends up behind a safety, and we take a shot early with Shaheed to stretch this field open. Whether you hit it or miss it, putting it on film and putting a little fear out there early, I think has benefits throughout the game. So that's how I'd go about it, Phil.
I like it. And I kind of like what you're pointing at, Clinton. What if play action actually sets up our run game? What if the fact that Clint, not Clinton. Clint hasn't been getting his shots early. We haven't loosened up the defense enough to open things up for K9 and Sharps. Adam, how about you? How should Clint dial up some shot plays?
Well, first off, I agree with Clinton regarding play action. I think it is going to need to come out of not just play action, but under center play action.
Yes.
Again, to me, gun play action is kind of a joke, but teams do it anyways, and that's fine. So I think it needs to come out of play action. I think it needs to be a boot to the right because there's a chance that we don't have Charles Cross in this game, and so boot away from that pressure.
Big chance.
I want to see 12 personnel. I want to see 2 tight ends on the line on the right-hand side and Shaheed out wide on the right. And then I want JSN isolated on the left. I want him to run all those receivers that are on the right across the field in a flood concept, moving from right to left, and then JSN cutting back across the grain, which is the same way that Darnold would be rolling out to his right, and confuse those DBs who aren't necessarily world beaters and get JSN open for a shot play. That's where I'd want to go, and that's the way that I'd try to get it done.
Do you think that has a chance of opening up an effective run game if we can get some play action shots that terrify him a little bit, Adam?
Well, a lot depends on how Josh Jones plays in replacement, in his duties there taking over for Cross. That's going to be the biggest factor in terms of how they run the football, because last time they played, the Hawks ran for 135 yards.
Yeah, ran the ball well.
It's not like that they were ineffective. We can run the ball against this team, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel necessarily to do it. But that was with a healthier offensive line. So we'll see how it goes. Can the play action in the pass game open up the run game? It can. That's a thing that happens in the NFL. But it really is the exception and not the rule to how that usually works in the league.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one love, one shot, both gone. We have the bottom 4 available for you, Adam.
I've only got one goal. It's to beat these stupid Rams. Let's go.
One goal. Here we go. What if you state a single goal for each of our 3 phases? Something you want to see: offense, defense, special teams. This is their goal, Adam.
Okay, so let's start with defense.
Okay.
I want to see 4 sacks.
4 sacks.
If you can do that, 3 to 4 sacks, now that means that you're getting consistent pressure on Stafford. And as you pointed out earlier, Phil, he does put the ball in harm's way from time to time, and you put him under pressure, just like any quarterback, and especially older quarterbacks, pressure up the middle, and those things fall apart. You know what? I'm going to stick with that. There's a better answer, and Clinton will get to it, I'm sure, for our defense. Second part, special teams. I want to see them cover kicks really, really well and not give them any freebies in terms of getting up the field and putting us in another field position hole like we were in with the Colts all entire game. That would be very helpful. Offensively speaking, I want to see 30 runs.
30 runs.
Give me 30 runs. And I think that really does take a lot of the pressure off of Sam in a big game. And maybe that helps him not to throw 4 picks this time, which would be great. So I think if you could run the ball 30 times, do it with a little bit of consistency, it opens up the play action, it takes some pressure off Sam, and it all works together. So those would be my 3 things.
4 sacks, 30 attempts in the run game, and bottling them up with great tackling in our kicking game on special teams. I think it's going to be super windy there, it sounds like. So it'll be interesting to see how the field goal fest might not be on the table for this one. Clinton, 3 goals, a goal for each phase, I should say.
Yeah, this is a great question, by the way. Okay, I'm going to start with special teams because we're darn good at it.
Yeah.
So special teams, Adam was getting at it, and I hope to crystallize it a bit more for my answer for the way what I want to kind of really centered on is that special teams helps us. We win the field position battle because of special teams.
Okay.
Adam was getting to that, but that's it. We'll know when we see it. So if the Rams are starting at their 8 and we're at the 38, Shaheed's having a good run back game, and maybe letting Shaheed was fair catching balls at the 5-yard line, man. It's and then when he didn't, okay, one time it bounced into the end zone and we get it at the 20. Super cool. One time the Indianapolis Colts guy caught it at the 5. Okay, that's fine. because whether you fair catch it at the 5
Yeah.
or they catch it at the 5, it's still the 5.
That's
You know,
right.
if the ball's at the 7 or 6 and you're backpedaling, dude, let it go. If it goes to the 1, so be it. You tip your cap. It's 4 yards. Who freaking cares? But special teams tilts the field in our favor. I think we're going to need that. Defense. Adam left this juicy one out there, and maybe it's this one. Look, we got this streak of keeping run games under 100 yards.
Oh, that's
Do
a
it
good one.
again. Do it again. It's a big test. Do it again. Can Stafford still beat you? Of course he can. He's really, really good. But so are we. So are we. If we make them one-dimensional, one of the things the Rams podcast were harping on is like, oh man, versus Detroit, McVay did not abandon the run. They're like, he always, and the fever and the fervor within that fan base is, man, McVay often abandons the run, and we don't know why he does it. He abandons the run. Did it against us last time too. Let's make them abandon the run and keep them under 100, make them more one-dimensional. Still hard, but certainly best shot. Offense, I love Adam's metric. I just think it's such a long shot. We are running the ball really poorly. And I just don't think we're going to get that much volume there. I hope we do. I don't think it's possible. I need a Sam game. We need a Sam game to win. I don't mean huge volume. I mean accuracy and percentage wise. So he needs to be like 69+% on completion percentage. It's a good metric. I think if we're there, we have a decent shot. I just don't believe we'll get to 30 runs. I want it to be true, Adam, but man, it feels like a stretch goal at this point.
What if I told you that in the last game, the Seahawks had 33 rushing attempts?
I would say it makes a lot of sense versus the Phillip Rivers led Colts.
No. Yeah. In our last game against the Rams.
Oh, right. Well, right. Cool. And I love it. And we should have won that game without those picks.
Yep.
It feels a little removed from then, and maybe it's just recency bias and we can get right back to it. So I hope it's exactly that.
Same players, same coaches.
I hear
different
you.
field.
I hear you. I feel it. I feel you too, man. There's a lot of folks who I think out there, Seahawks fans, that feel a little less confident about this game than they did last time. I think it's natural because of the sputtering offense, but okay. You gave me some juice there, Adam. I like it. I love it actually.
And it looked like last game the Rams really set up to shut down our pass game. It was the first team that had tried that. Everybody'd been running all those 8-man boxes. It seemed like the Rams were like, okay, no more JSN fest. We're going to see if they can actually run against us. And we ran the ball a lot and it was okay. But Sam didn't overcome the change that had happened in the pass defense. So I'm really wondering if there's a solution to be had. Something's going to be a lot different in this game. Something's going to be a lot different. Well, one love, one shot, one goal are gone. Clinton, you have one mind, one matchup, or one choice?
I am intrigued. Let's go with some hive mind stuff. One mind. Let's see what's behind that curtain.
One mind. We're talking about two great combos here. Both teams have a quarterback wide receiver combo where they seem to share a brain a lot of times. What if our duo outplays theirs? Is that enough to win? If it is, or either way, how do we give our duo the edge? You can talk offense, you can talk defense. Is there a way that Sam and Jax have a bigger game than Puka and Matthew?
Yes. So there's definitely a way, right? Can we win the game if that's the case? Actually, I think the answer is yes.
I think so too.
I think so. And again, it's because I just said I think we're going to need a Sam game here to win this game. As much as that might scare Adam, I think we need Sam to be near his best, like kind of Washington Commanders or the Texans game. Which, by the way, many weeks removed from that Texans game, that game looks really good now, considering what the Texans defense has been doing to the rest of the league, who are not Seattle Seahawks. But I think so. I think they can outduel them. Stafford has played the majority of his career inside domes and inside great weather situations.
That's
and
right.
He's a really, really good quarterback. In fact, he's a great quarterback and probably going to the Hall of Fame one day.
Yes, should. Yeah.
Cool. Now it's 50 some odd or 40 something degrees with some good wind, maybe a little bit of wet and slickness out there. Okay, Stafford. So the answer is yes. How outdueling might come down to also who is cleaner, not just the performance of JSN, but
Yeah.
the clean sheet from Sam. Look, Stafford will chuck those things up. So the how to me actually flips to defense. It's probably like you come down with 1 or 2 interceptions, timely interceptions, and you capitalize, turning them into 7. That's probably the how, Phil.
Adam, will that make that? Is that enough to win? And then also, how do we give our duo the edge, Adam?
These two teams are so equally matched. You kind of go down all the different matchups and comparisons between the two teams, and you go, that's a wash, that's a wash, that's a wash, that's a wash. And there's very few things that you look at and go, that's advantage Seahawks or that's advantage Rams, and feel like that there's a legit distinction between the two teams. Look, Stafford and Puka are going to get theirs. Sam and JSN are going to get theirs. Like, those combinations have not really been stopped all year, and it's not going to get stopped in this game unless Mother Nature does it. And so this is one of those that I look at it and I go, dang near no matter what, this is going to be about a wash, and this will not be the deciding factor of the game. So if we outplay the, Stafford to Puka connection by 2 receptions and 25 yards, does that mean that we win the football game? I don't think so. And I just really don't think this is where this game is going to be won or lost. I think Clinton hit on something with just a decent game from Sam. I don't think we have to have like one of his best performances to win this football game. I think we need to get like 200 and 250 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, an interception, no fumbles, and you probably win this game. So a B to B plus game from Sam, I think, gets us there. And so as far as how do we get the edge and make it happen so that we could maybe win this matchup, I would say it'd be just targeting Shaheed early and often and making the defense have to worry about him so that it just opens up things for JSN just a tiny bit more. But I just don't see this as a critical matchup.
Do you think Puka's too good for our great DBs to really shut him down? Is that kind of what you...
Yeah, because great offense always beats great defense. It just does. It's the way the league is set up. It's how the calls are set up. It's how the refs are bought for the Rams and just give touchdowns to Colby Parkinson for like no reason. Like they will get theirs. They always do, and it's the way the league is set up. And these guys are damn good. It's a little like when Jordan came into the league in the NBA. There was the Jordan rules, and the Pistons just beat the holy smokes out of him and all of that and tried to stop him, right? And that worked for a while until he got stronger and mentally tougher, and he figured that out and just started destroying them. Then at some point, everybody had to go to the strategy of, let Jordan score his 40. Okay, have at it, Haas, and shut down everybody else. That's how I feel about Stafford to Puka. They're going to get theirs. Do your thing, man. It's part of the cost of doing business. It's everything else we need to concentrate on.
Yeah, and maybe if we can out pressure Matthew over how they pressure Sam, that sounds really hard given the
unlikely
O-line challenges. But
correct.
Yeah, 2 options left. I believe we are down to 1 choice, 1 matchup.
Okay, if we don't leave 1 choice for the last choice, we're doing it wrong. So 1 matchup.
1 choice is the final one, which will be the game. So that works out great. What if you give us 1 matchup that most worries you and 1 that you feel most confident about? These could be line of scrimmage kind of matchups, running back, linebacker matchups, just kind of something where you see them particularly facing off, safety versus quarterback. 1 that worries you the most, 1 you're most confident about, Adam.
All right, so let's start with 1 that we're most confident about, and that is the combination of Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams in what they're going to be able to do against a good Rams offensive line. Don't get it twisted. They're a good unit. Leo and Murphy are better, especially as a combination. I love what they're going to be able to do up the middle, not only in the run game, but especially in the pass game too. They're lethal. They collapse the pocket from the interior out, and that's death for old quarterbacks. So I feel the most confident about that. We can hang our hat on that week in, week out. And really the long and short of it is if you're looking at the matchup that I'm least confident about, you're talking about Rams defensive line against, Bradford and Sundell at this point. Sundell coming back from the injury looked okay. last week, still getting his feet wet, coming back from an injury. I get it. He might look a lot better this upcoming week on Thursday, but between him and Bradford, that gets a little scary when you're talking about Byron Young and Kobe Turner and, Puka Ford up front, like all those guys. That gets dicey, and it's the one I feel the least confident about.
So, Clinton, Adam went all inside line of scrimmage on both sides. Do you have something somewhere else, Clinton, besides those?
Yes, I do. I think if I had gone first, his second answer there would have been my first answer, right? That's the biggest concern. However, to take it to another place, one of the things that teams are finding a little bit of success with, again, we saw it last week, is these little angle routes out of the backfield and just quick draw quarterbacks who can get things to running backs basically in motion, right? So with momentum. And I think the way we would play, the way we are playing with too high and everything else, it's an area of the field where you can be exposed. So, and Stafford takes advantage of every little nook and cranny you're going to give him. So if it's Blake Corum or if it's Kyron out of the backfield and kind of before or right after the linebackers, and taking advantage, Mike Macdonald does not blitz that often, but when he does, McVay seems to have really good calling cards, whether that's screens or little things over the middle or running backs. That could be exploited again, in my opinion. So not the most thing I'm worried about, the bigger matchup, which Adam mentioned.
So neither of you said Jones against their outside guys. Our left tackle situation right now.
I think that's part and part. I realize it's interior, but I think it's part and parcel to what Adam was saying, getting at too. I know he mentioned Sundell and Bradford, but yes, without Charles Cross, it could be very,
which we don't know yet. That's the only reason I didn't talk about it.
Right. Yeah. We don't know. Not trending great, but we don't know. But
it sounds like you're more worried about Sean versus Mike, like Sean out play calling, out scheming Mike this time, since Mike kind of got him last time.
I think they can duel it out a little bit. Right. And again, I would have gone to the battle of the lines if I was going first, right? Their D-line versus our O-line in general. With that's where I would go. The other place that I would go to our favor is I love where Adam took it with our defensive tackles. But again, when I look at like why we can do what we do, what Macdonald wants to do, and he gets away with defensively, is because not only does he have that great defensive tackles, but he's got Spoon and Eamon Wari. And there's no combination in the league like that, where you could play man, you could play like less soft zone and bring those dudes down the box, and they're monsters down there, and they're showing it every single week. It's very rare, in my opinion, that you have very often you'll have like a defensive back who's like, oh, Richard Sherman, like, okay, he could really go tackle. He's a corner and he can really cover, but he really likes sticking his nose in there as well.
Or there's that one Buda Baker. A few teams have a guy like that, but we have two of them. No one's ever had two like that.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say, I think Bam Bam and Sherman.
No, but I mean, that are excited to play up in the box, second level defensive backs.
Sherman and Beebe were that way, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, Browner liked laying the wood too. So
we had the corners. Yeah, we had the corners doing this. Is interesting with the safety / nickel guy. That's
right, and the flex,
the Buddha type guy. But there's two of them that are crazy athletes, but also just sure tacklers.
Well, I love the point. It's because like a couple of years ago, we're playing Spoon everywhere. He's playing slot. He's playing almost de facto linebacker at times. He's playing outside corner. Cool. And now we go get maybe even a better version of that jack of all trades thing, which allows Spoon to play more quote unquote traditional corner, but still crash down, tackle like a man, blow
like
up
Cam.
And blow
tackle
up
like Cam and run like Earl is crazy.
And Stafford loves get the ball in his hands and throw it horizontal. I mean, McVay loves that stuff. Cool. That speed stretch stuff, when you've got Eamon Wari and you've got Spoon out there hunting, it's very difficult. It's weaponry that most teams do not enjoy, and it's huge. So that's where I think our biggest advantage is to shut down that quick game horizontal stuff. Again, might expose the middle of the field a little bit, but I like our chances.
I love that part. If that's what's going to determine the game, then we have a big advantage in that particular spot. Well, Clinton, you have one choice, so we're going to take your one choice.
Love
But
it.
that does mean you get to pick the first round of which is better. So I wrote down on a little paper this section. I am going to read 4 which is betters, and then I will do the same with Adam, and we'll move on to your favorite. So these are some little bit of stats, a little bit of options, and very quickly, we get either 3+ sacks on Stafford or no runs of 12+ yards. Clinton.
Wow.
Defense.
No,
The first
no
two are
run,
defense.
no explosive runs.
Okay, runs. So circle runs. Okay, Stafford minus 60% completion or Rams minus 100 on the ground.
Under 60 is very low. I really love the under 100. You set the number at a really intriguing spot there, Phil. So good job. Give me Stafford sub 60. That's a tough day.
That's the less likely one, but that would be an awesome one.
Yeah.
Okay, now these two are offense. They'll all pit against each other at the end, but these two are offense. Darnold, 1 turnover max or more rushing attempts than passing attempts.
Darnold, one or less.
Here's one. JSN 150 plus or Barner and Shaheed 120 plus combined.
Yeah, great. Man, this is great. Holy cow.
Yeah, these are good.
These are amazing. They're tough. Oh man, that JSN is tantalizing. That's a huge day. The more effective day is probably Barner and Shaheed.
That's what you want. Okay. So now Adam's already heard, and he gets to go through his first round. 3+ sacks on Stafford or no runs of 12+.
No runs of 12+. I'm not going to disagree a lot with Clinton here. I'm just going to tell you right out of the game.
Okay.
But yeah, because the whole key to this Rams offense is the run game. Really getting after him that way.
But you did want the sacks earlier, but that was 4. This is only 3. So
when I said I wanted the sacks earlier, that's assuming we shut down the run game.
okay.
Shut down the run game, and then we get the sacks. Yeah.
Not one explosive run in the game would be pretty sweet. Okay, so Stafford minus 60% passing or Rams minus 100 total yards on the ground.
Rams minus 100 yards because Stafford, he could throw for 72%, but it could be a bunch of check down stuff and stuff around the line of scrimmage and all that stuff.
It's true.
And we're able to still shut them down, but it gets them out of their easy play action stuff, which is their easy button for those third and mediums.
I think that's probably right. So that's where you went different from Clinton so far. Darnold, 1 turnover max or more rushing attempts than passing attempts.
This is the one I struggled the most with.
That's what
because
I thought. I knew you'd hate this
when we get to our Super Hawk, I had a thought on this. So I'm going to say more rushing attempts than passing attempts because that means you're controlling the game. That means you're taking it out of Sam's hands. That means you're running the ball effectively enough to want to stick with it, which means the Rams offense is off the field a bunch. Yeah, we'll go that way.
So, Adam, you nailed it. So far, you said, I'm not doing different than Clinton, but 2 out of 3 times you have. So, okay. Adam, JSN 150 plus, which is really fun, or Barner and Shaheed 120 plus combined.
Well, here's where I'll blow your mind because I'm going with Clinton. I'm going with Shaheed and Barner here. Look, at the end of the day, if Shaheed and Barner are getting that, I know one thing for certain. JSN is still getting his. Exactly. So he's still going to get 110 yards on 7 receptions, and then we also get Barner and Shaheed. Yeah, sign me up for that. That's a surefire win right there.
Okay. All right, so we go back to Clinton. There's 4 left. The first is your favorite defensive thing. No runs of 12+ or Stafford minus 60 completion.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we're whittling down now, right? Got it. I like this. These little tournaments. I'm still going to go no runs of 12+. Explosive runs hurt. And you know what? They show up in the 3rd and 4th quarter. And that's when you're bleeding inside, right? None of those is really good.
Okay, no runs of 12+. And your favorite offensive stat of the choices, either Darnold, 1 turnover max, or Barner and Shaheed, 120+.
Look, I am fully subscribing to the Adam Emmert newsletter that if Sam Darnold stayed a little cleaner last game, we win the game going away. So Sam, 1 or less turnovers, basically. That seems like a recipe for us.
Adam, you get different choices, but you still have the no runs of 12+ or the Rams minus 100 yards on the ground. So you got 2 running options here. Which one do you prefer? No explosives or no 100 total?
No 100 total, because they could get 1 explosive and still be under 100 yards, and we win the football game.
Okay. That's probably it. And then more rushing attempts than passes, or Barner and Shaheed 120 plus.
Yeah, that one's tough. Yeah, more rushing attempts because I do
Right.
think that means that they control the game a little more effectively.
So you both have total different options for your finale, your offense versus defense choice. You just get one. Clinton, no runs of 12 plus, or Darnold, one or less turnovers for the game.
I'm going with the big one. Darnold, one or less turnovers. Stay
Darnold, one or
clean.
less
Stay
turnovers.
clean, golden boy, if something like that.
And Adam chooses between no 100 yards rushing for them, or we have more rushing attempts than passing attempts.
I'm gonna say more rushing attempts for us because I'm most nervous about the offense performing in if they're able to move the ball on the ground and be consistent with it and sustain it throughout a game and have more rushing attempts and passing attempts. I like our chances, even if the defense gives up 115 yards on the ground, let's say.
So here's the huge question, guys. It's not on here, but I've been thinking of it. This is very possible. What if we both have a bad running game? Because our defense is good against the run and our offense has yet to find the consistency. If we both have a bad, ineffective running game, who would you give the edge to?
I think that's a pretty simple answer. Which one of these defenses is the better defense?
Ours.
Okay. Well, then in a defensive matchup, because that's what you'd be talking about. Both run games aren't working. We're in the weather. Both pass games are going to be difficult to get going. Then it's a it's a defensive battle. And in that case, I'm taking the Seahawks all day.
Well, then I think we have the advantage in the game because I think that's more likely than the Rams having a good running game, even though they were really good against the line. I think we have the advantage if that's actually the answer, because I think it's very, very possible that both have a bad one. How about you, Clinton? Who would have the advantage in this game if neither one of us can get the run game going?
I'm with Adam, and it does then fall on Sam. That's the part where you go like, okay, we got, and I've obviously loved what I've seen from Sam for the most part this year. And this is his opportunity to, it's not so much like quell the haters. It's not haters. It's people talking truth about the big games and what he's done so far in his career in most of them. Right. And this is a huge opportunity for not just our team, but for Sam to write his own narrative going forward. And but I still think it's to our advantage. Stafford is the better quarterback. I don't think people are going to sit here and try to argue that. With that though, Adam said it. It's we have the more dominant, better defense. And if Sam stays pretty clean and makes enough, a couple of chunk plays here and there, I like our chances.
Yeah. Okay, that's very encouraging. Now nobody's saying the Rams don't have a good defense because they
No, they're
absolutely
good.
do.
Not at all.
man.
Yeah.
Good
Okay, we're going to get to
team.
our From the Flock. We have some awesome ones this week. Adam, how do people get in there? They dropped in some fantastic wishes for us. How did they get to do this?
Yeah, go to getintheflock.com, sign up for $3 a month or more on our Patreon. That gets you into the Discord, and we've got a full channel dedicated to Just What If that you can put your wishing well wishes in there. And as you can see, you guys never disappoint. Look at what we've got on the screen here. This is awesome. You too can be a part of that. So go to getintheflock.com and get your wishes in. And Clinton, you've got something here.
Yeah, I just want to say, of all the weeks, of all the years, we're 11-3. We're about to go into Thursday night battle versus the Rams. And if you believe in good energy throughout the universe and multiverse, if you believe in raising the good Hawkra together, well, go to getintheflock.com, go out to YouTube, subscribe and like, share this with 12s, but get involved with hundreds of rabid Seahawks fans who like to sit there, talk ball, talk life, and have some fun. Raise that Hawker for this game because, look, we need every bit of good energy heading into this one.
And we need these wishes. Let's hope they come true. Here we go. Josh wishes 3+ offensive touchdowns, 0 turnovers. Living the good life. Charles Cross with the praying hands. We're just praying that he plays. 12th man records, win the turnover battle and the game. Catfish the Lambs. Very good, 12 man. Bunny, E-Man to continue setting the league on fire. His performance so far is just unreal. I'd like to see another game where he's swarming the ball and generating a turnover, a sack, tackle for loss, and 2+ souls taken. Let's put some fear in their heart. Break them. And then Amy says, Jay does enough to stay another week. Well, he's been doing pretty good. So this is kind of her running joke now. Making fun of all of us. JSN Jiggy with it. E-Man does not hold back on the suplex of Puka penalty. Be catfished. I want to see that little catfish get the stuffing knocked out of him. Wow, JSN Jiggy with it is not a Puka
That's
fan.
not possible. You can't knock the stuffing out of Puka Nakua. Like, I love talking crap about the Rams. You cannot talk crap about Puka's toughness, and I don't think you can just beat the stuff out of him. I love that E-Man was out on the sidelines, thought about it. Ernest Jones came running up. No.
Yeah.
And he listened and it, had his head there, giving up free 15 yardies in a
stupid
tight
penalty.
Game. No, it's not worth it. Not worth it.
Car 100+ rushing yards for K9 would be amazing. That would be a miracle, and we would all give you the credit for this fantastic wish, Car. Yokai Hawk, 0 drops. And it might be wet, probably not, but it could be. It's going to be windy, so it'll be interesting. No pre-snap penalties. I like that. Someone says, Clinton, I mentioned avoiding the term operational penalties just for you. So yeah, no pre-snap penalties. We need that. And 0 turnovers from the Hawk. That's a popular choice, obviously, given last game. And then Nostradamus chosen. I love this one. Guys, listen to this. Closure. The Seahawks can get it done in the passing game, specifically Rashid Shaheed with Emmanuel Forbes guarding him. His performances these last few weeks have been poor. Let's take advantage of that. Someone watching, noticing a hole, a weakness in the Lambs. And if we get after that, that'd be pretty sweet. Any stand out to you on this, Clinton?
Well, look, I think the one, there's several do, but I love Car's persistence with wanting to get K9 to the century mark. He hasn't been close lately. And boy, oh boy, what if he was? Right? This whole show's about that, right? This is like, what if he goes off? What if he has 18 for 102 and 2 touchdowns? Like, wow, would that tilt the field?
Dr. Strange is holding up his finger. There's
exactly.
Yeah.
There's one shot at that, but man, that one entices me. It feels really unlikely this year in this game because the way it's been going. But could we get a vintage K9 game? That would be really, really cool.
Any favorites on here from you, Adam?
Yeah, I did like what Nostradamus had to say regarding Forbes because it has to happen. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, I've seen this guy play for the majority of the season, and he's below average. He's closer to dog water than he is average, right? And this is something that we should be able to take advantage of. And that's what I thought going into the last game. And somehow they turned Sam over 4 times. It's like that was super frustrating. So for the Seahawks to go out and attack this secondary, which is the weakest link of this entire Rams team, and have success, that would be huge. I like that one a lot.
Awesome. Let's get to y'all's What If Super Hawk. Last week we had Brandon subbing in for Adam. His hope was for Love to get an interception. Of course, he only played 20 snaps. He didn't get one, but his buddy Kobe did to seal the game. So that was cool, but not the wish. JSN, huge game from Clinton. It was a mid game, it was a good game.
It's funny. It's like I would not give myself the credit. A huge 7 for 1+. It's just a funny year where we could all agree collectively that for JSN in 2025, it's actually not a huge game. If he tacked on a touchdown or two, then like, yes, he gets it, right? But I'm okay with being like, nope, that does not hit the mark. Not enough. We got to be.
It hits the mark.
He set up his boy J-Mai for lots of field goals. That's what he did.
Okay, so you liked it. So Adam, you're like, that's good enough.
Yeah, no, I think that you should get credit for that because when you have 7 receptions for over 100 yards, that's a big game. That's a big game in the NFL, like objectively speaking, right?
Bill,
and
I'll take it.
He was the one thing that was happening offensively that was explosive that allowed them to at least get the 6 field goals. So JSN had a big game. I think that's a win for you.
Well, that was a good call. It was right in there. It was right in there. Gentlemen, what's your what if Superhawks for this game? Adam goes first.
Well, if I get to go first, then I am going to choose one that has been obvious. It's one we've talked about throughout the day today, and that is Sam Darnold under 2 turnovers. Just be under 2 turnovers, and this game should look a little better than the last one, and a little better equals a W. So that's what I'm going for there.
If the defense can hold up like it did last game and Sam goes
It
under
will.
2 turnovers, we win, right? Clinton, who's your what if Superhawk for this one?
Well, Phil, I've got something for the entire audience here. This whole theme was about one, right? And when you have one coin, you have 2 sides to that coin. So I'll take what Adam's saying and flip it over and say we want 2+ turnovers from Matthew Stafford. It could be
wow.
an interception, and if he fumbles the ball and we recover it, I want that to count as well. 2+ turnovers. Yeah, 2+ turnovers from Stafford, and that's the other side of this one vision.
Fantastic. Well, when it comes to this predictions, Adam is on his first winning streak of the year. He was down 8-4, but his buddy Brandon subbed in and called the game closer. He called the game to be a 1-score game at 2018, and I was like, nah, no way, this can't happen. And it happened. So, but that's good for Adam. He just needs to keep winning 2 more, and then we can have a finale on the final week to see who wins for the season. Predicting the score for this one, Adam, what do you got for a score for us on this Thursday night game that I'm going to be at in person?
2 very good teams, really bad weather in 2 really good defenses. I think this is 14-13 Seahawks.
Wow.
We get in the end zone twice, maybe, or we got a safety and 4 field goals. But
which one's more which one's more likely, right?
Yeah.
Now we get 1 touchdown, a 2-point, and then 2 field goals.
Yeah. Or we could do that. Or we could get 1 defensive touchdown, another JSN gets free somehow, and then all we got to do is hold them to 13. 14-13, I will love it. That would be a thrill ride. Clinton, what's your prediction?
All right, I'm quickly checking this weather to see how we're looking real quick to see. Okay, so 8:00. I mean, well, I guess 5:00 local for you guys, but it is windy, man. Oh boy.
Yeah. So there's rain all day, and they're saying by early afternoon the wind's going to come in and push that rain away. So if that happens, we won't have rain if the wind shows, but we'll have a lot of wind if that part hits us during the game.
Yeah, they are looking at. Well, yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Oh no, just what's worse in your guys' opinion, wind or rain?
Wind. I think bad wind like this. They're looking at like 19 to 20 mile per hour winds by kickoff. That's pretty big, which also is like, what will that do to field goal tries, and decisions? Right?
Our kicker's more accurate. So if it's a guy that kicks it down the middle more versus a guy that barely makes it, that could be an advantage for us, right?
I'm so torn. Okay. I'm so torn here. All right. That wind that's a factor. That's legit. All right. Well, I'm still going to go with where I was earlier, but that wind's a big deal. 23-22 Seahawks get the W. I know that's a 1-point thing. We can figure out some tiebreaker. We'll do that.
Well, then it's going to go to total points. So
cool. Well, I think a little bit more points somehow, some way. But yeah, I was thinking 3 field goals from Myers and 2 touchdowns, and away we go. Man, yeah.
That's a lot of points against this defense. I'd be pretty stoked.
It's a lot of points, and we're not exactly lighting it up. But the NFL, every single time you think you could predict what's happening in the NFL,
that's right,
it zags on you. So
and Thursday nights have been lots of scoring action, haven't they? I mean, there's not a lot of time for
sometimes
the
they're like absolute slop fests, but it's this year seems to be more like they're a bit more like bonanza style games. So hopefully we get a bonanza for this game with these defenses with that wind. I think would be both teams in the 20s.
Yeah. Anything we missed? Anything you were dying to talk about with this matchup that we just didn't touch on that you can think of, Adam?
Not really, because when we were doing the flagship last night, I kept finding myself being like, I don't know exactly what to talk about because there's only just a couple little things edgewise that I think will skew this game one way or the other because they are so equally matched. And I know with that we hit on them today just in run game, stopping the run, no turnovers for Darnold. And that I really feel like those are the keys of the game.
It feels like they've got the QB edge. We've got the DB edge. They've got the run blocking edge. So I don't like the 2 out of 3 slant.
Well, we got the run defense edge. Yeah.
And special teams.
That's true. We're there. Yeah. Our special teams is that's a big edge. Special teams matters a lot this year.
Yes.
And here's the thing too, that we seem to forget. And I was forgetting it even last night when we were doing the flagship and didn't really think about it till this morning when I was sitting here and ruminating on Seahawks, because that's all I do, because I have a sickness. But at the end of the day, when we got done with that Rams Seahawks game, we all sat there and looked at it and thought, we're the better team.
Yeah.
Like, we were the better team that day, short of Sam just having the blue screen of death for 4 times throughout the game. And let's not forget that feeling after coming out of that game, because this is the same team and it's in our house. I just want to make sure the Rams fans know it's at Lumen, which is our house. And I can't wait to beat them. I think we are the better football team.
But since that game, hasn't our offense proceeded to make us feel less awesome? Like, I think at the end of the Rams game
last week, our bad offense last week was better than the offense in the Rams game the first time.
Yeah, I was just saying at the end of the Rams game, I thought, yeah, we're definitely the better team. They come up here, we're gonna smash them. We'll never throw 4 picks on them again. This is gonna be nothing. And then our offense proceeded to never kind of right the ship, and they almost seem to be playing a little bit scared or something since that game. I don't know if it's just a vibe I've got or if anybody else out there has it. This is the least.
To fight it.
What's that?
I'm trying to fight that vibe because I've been having it all week, and so I'm trying to find that confidence and like talk myself into it a little bit more. That's for sure.
How did this happen? Usually, Adam, you're the one that prepares for the worst and enjoys the best. And now I'm flipping it around and I'm concerned and just saying whatever happens, at least this way I can't be totally disappointed.
I think it's a good
I stole your thing all of a sudden, Adam, and someone needs to shoot me.
You can use it. I'm in the mindset right now going into this game very much of, I believe in fake it till you make it. Okay. I do. I think that's a huge factor in life, to look forward and say, yes, I'm going to do it. Go out there, even if you feel like you have imposter syndrome or whatever it is, and just do it and keep faking it until you make it, and have some irrational confidence going into it. That's where I'm at.
What I want to believe is that Mike is going to be smarter than Sean in this one. Mike's going to do something to prove that he's the better coach in this one. I want to believe that. I think
he did last time, Phil.
Yeah,
I think he was.
I want to see him do it again.
Better coach.
He did it with the Ravens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I put this up on screen, guys. You can probably see it. I was wondering if I get a chance. I was like maybe going to show it. I just had it like in the holster.
I can't see it.
Oh, okay. So it's all right. Well, it is. I don't know why I can't see it, but what it is, it's a graphic from, we did a YouTube poll that was went out there and said, hey, are you more confident, same confidence, or less confident this time around versus the Rams versus last time? So kind of a nice way to end it, Phil, because it's exactly where we were kind of getting at. And the biggest voting block was same, 41%. The irrational confidence Adam is conjuring is what, 26%, right? So say more confident, but that leaves almost a third, almost 1/3 of these are Seahawks fans mostly answering this. Almost 1/3 are less confident with a home game on a short week. And I think it just kind of goes to show you that we're working through this. Like, that's literally how
it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way.
I agree. But, and it is, and it's real. And we're just kind of working through it all together. But here's the thing, guys, time's up. This is going to air Wednesday evening. We're recording it Wednesday afternoon. It's going to air in just a couple of hours. We get one more sleep. We put on those, new greenish iridescent uniforms, and we got one shot, guys. And it's the biggest game in a decade. So let's just be there for it, man.
Let's win this one, gentlemen. One game to give the best chance of getting the 1 seed. With that, Adam, what if we say,
go Hawks?
Go Hawks. Let's win this one.
Go Hawks.